gonna be one of those kind of nights. What's up, YouTube? Robert the Monster Among Marks Drap here, and I'm back again with another episode of our Monday Night Raw review. Buckle up, it's gonna get rough. Why in the description down below did I say one night in Milwaukee I'd rather forget? Well, other than the fact that they were in Milwaukee, Wisconsin tonight, after I'm finished, I'm sure you'll see that I wasn't entirely wrong. This episode of Monday Night Raw, I'm just going to be frank with you, was one of the worst episodes that they've ever put on. There were so many cringeworthy segments and so much really bad spots that I actually kind of wish my good friend and tag team partner, Sierra the Heavy Metal Hippie, wasn't stuck in traffic, but that's how bad this Raw was. It was so abominably bad that people were escaping to the nation's capital to get away from this Raw. They were trying to run the fuck away. God. But enough jokes. I want to thank you all for watching currently. Please like, comment, subscribe, share all those wonderful things down below. Hit the bell for the notifications. Follow the show on Twitter at InMoshPit, and I'm going to try and keep an eye on the show via the internet's favorite thing, a mobile phone. But enough of my yakking. We start tonight's episode of Monday Night Raw with Baron Corbin, Bobby Lashley, and Drew McIntyre in the ring to cut a promo. We see Corbin saying, I bet you all had a wonderful Thanksgiving, eating corn, pumpkin pie, dinner rolls, and all those all those unhealthy carbs, while the three of us maintain our bodies as though they are a temple, operating in peak physical condition at all times. And then I believe he said they took turns saying what they were thankful for. I think Corbin said he was thankful that he was in the ring and that they would be leaving Milwaukee soon. Lashley said he's thankful for all the beta males out in the audience that sit on their butt while he goes out every day and takes what he wants. On a side note, don't like the attitude. Don't like that gimmick. But I do like the look on Bobby Lashley. The headband and the aviators, just that imposing figure, really works. And then Drew McIntyre says that he's thankful for the monumental beating they gave to Braun Strowman last week. I think it was before they said what they were thankful for, that they showed a replay of last week, and Baron Corbin, Bobby Lashley, and Drew McIntyre beating Strowman down. Corbin says you might as well call him General Manager Elect, because the match at TLC between himself and Braun Strowman is still on the books. He will compete in that match regardless of whether or not the Monster Among Men does. And that that Braun Strowman is actually in Birmingham, Alabama right now getting looked at. And then they play a video clip, and it's Braun Strowman, stripped to the waist. He's got his arm up, he's got the one arm up, and the arm from the bottom of his tattoos on around to the front half of his forearm is all just a mass of purple and yellow and bruise. And he's like, yeah, I'm in Birmingham, Alabama. I'm here, and I bet those 3 turkeys in the ring, just basically running Corbin McIntyre and Lashley down a bit, are thankful that I'm not there. Otherwise, I'd be giving them an ass whooping. But rest assured, as soon as they don't know how bad the damage is. They've never worked on damage this severe, and they've never had to work on an arm this big. Really? For those of you marks out there who may not know about Birmingham, Alabama, Birmingham, Alabama is name dropped by WWE as that is the epicenter. That is the medical facility that they send all of their people to. Like, if you get hurt in WWE, your first stop is Birmingham, Alabama. Because apparently they've got a great fucking medical center down there. I don't know. I live in Texas. I've never been to Alabama intentionally. I think I might have gone once when we were going to, no, I didn't have to go through Alabama when we were going to Maryland for my sister's wedding. But apparently it's awful from what I understand. Strowman says, rest assured he will return. He will be back to 100%. And when he does, those 3 are going to get these hands. And he tries to like flex sitting in the thing. He like raises one arm, and as he goes to lift the hurt arm, he sells it. He's like, oh, that hurt. And that's a good babyface promo. That is a really good thing for Strowman to have. Do I think that this is going to be everything that he needed? Probably not. But hey, I've been wrong before, and I'd be okay with being wrong now. It's at this point that Corbin continues his jabbering, and the lights cut out. Corbin's, turn the lights back on right now. And I thought, just for whatever reason, I don't know why my mind did it, but Birmingham, Alabama, you know what? Let's throw a curveball in here. I thought, you know what would really fuck with him? Bray Wyatt. Let's have Bray Wyatt come down to really fuck with him. I want to see that now. I want to see Bray Wyatt just show up to mess with Baron Corbin's head and start wrecking house. Because he was at Starrcade, he showed up, he competed, we have footage of this. I want to see the Eater of Worlds just decimate somebody. Bring that in, please. Hell, have the whole Wyatt family show back up again. Oh, that'd be good. And the Bludgeon Brothers are over on SmackDown. Strowman's on the shelf. No, that's all of them. Because it was Eric Rowan, Luke Harper, Braun Strowman, and Bray Wyatt. The Wyatt family. But it's at this point that Elias's guitar strum happens. He says, hello, my name is Elias. He basically cuts his promo. These 3 people haven't learned the truth yet. The inescapable fact that WWE stands for Walk with Elias. I did write a song tonight, he says, but it's not quite finished, and I want to sing it for Bobby Lashley. Because I wrote a song for Bobby Lashley. I want to sing it for him now. And he basically starts bagging on Bobby Lashley, like, not really well, but he's bagging on Bobby Lashley. And we now know that it's going to be Elias versus Bobby Lashley to open the show, with Drew McIntyre, Baron Corbin, and Lio Rush at ringside. This match is largely academic, as there's a bit of back and forth. The end of this match, or what was the first end of this match, was Elias hitting the elbow drop from the top rope on Bobby Lashley. As the official is making the count, however, Lio Rush grabs his ankle and pulls him out of the ring, causing the disqualification. Baron Corbin quickly goes over to the timekeeper's area, grabs a mic, says he didn't... No. See, Elias, you interrupted me before I got a chance to announce this, so I'm going to tell you now, this is a no DQ match. Ring the bell. And you know what happens from there. Lashley pins Elias after a heel beatdown. We go to commercial. We come back. We have Baron Corbin yelling at a tech guy for leaving the lights off when he said to turn them on, and then firing him. Alexa Bliss sucks up to him for a bit, and Corbin's like, listen, I've got a lot on my plate right now. You look good in that fashion. You look very professional. I think that because you've led the women's you captained the women's team on Survivor Series, and you're such a great team building and leader, I'm going to put you in charge of all of the women's division. Go for it. So we got that. We get we then go back to ringside for a video recap of the Ambrose-Rollins rivalry. We then are told that Dean Ambrose did a video promo for Seth Rollins. Basically, Rollins is like, okay, Ambrose is like, all right, I'm not there tonight. I'm busy getting shots. I'm at the doctor. And the start was like the bicep. You could see 3 or 4 dots on him already. I mean, I'm not a doctor. I am not a medical professional entirely, but I am medically competent enough to know, A, when they do injections, yeah, they do them, they can do multiples, but usually if they're using the traditional needle, you're gonna get a bandage, because the gauge of that needle is thick enough that you have to have one. Because, yeah, it doesn't take like 3 to 4 minutes for that to heal up, but still. And if you're getting multiple injections, they usually go for a bigger vein right here in the arm, and then they put an IV in it. Because they're going to be swapping plungers to give you all of the medication that you need. Anyway, it annoyed me. Especially when he's like, listen, I'm not there tonight. You know I'm not there. That's why Seth Rollins is reopening his Intercontinental Championship Open Challenge. I also wouldn't be caught dead in that cesspool of Milwaukee. I can't imagine the stench from your breaths is probably noxious. It's unclean. So that's also why and he's like, oh, what was up next? And the doctor pulls out a big needle with a long. A big plunger with a long needle. He's like, rabies. I'm going to have to give this one into your hip. Great. And he, like, pulls down his pants a little bit. And you get the hip shot. That's the most interesting part about this segment. The rest of it is just kind of garbage. He says that Rollins is sick. There is no cure. There is no medicine for what he has. That he's been diseased and filthy for many, many years. And this, and at TLC, Ambrose will do the right thing, the proper thing, and put Rollins out of his misery for good. Lucha House Party comes out to face the Revival, to embarrass the Revival again. I mean, I like 205 Lucha House Party because their story there actually means something. There's some creative effort into it. Like TJP, Mike Kanellis, and Lucha House Party being at odds because TJP keeps stealing the Lucha House Party's masks. It's like, personally, I can't wait to see the Lucha House Party give TJP his comeuppance, beat his ass in a severe fashion, and then, to elevate it further, steal back all the masks because he's constantly carrying them on him. That's compelling. The Lucha House Party competing under Lucha House Party rules, which apparently means anybody doesn't even have to tag in, they can just go. Everybody's legal. This is a tornado 3-on-2 handicap match. And the fact, if they'd have left it alone, if they hadn't said anything, if they'd have just backed it, that would have been one thing. But commentary was bringing up these issues, bringing up these plot holes on air with no answers. If you don't have the answer to the question, don't ask the question. Don't do it. And then you have poor Renee on commentary having to defend this stuff as the face. Because Michael Cole brought up the fact that it's basically a 3-on-2 handicap match. Corey Graves brought up the fact that none of it was, like, they didn't have to tag in. They were all just going in and doing moves. It was a spot fest at the end. And like I said, while it was kind of entertaining to see the Lucha House Party, because the Lucha House Party is comprised of good wrestlers, and Dash Wilder and Scott Dawson are talented people, it bored me. I hate that. The crowd did not care about this. Commentary starts, after this match, starts hyping up Lars Sullivan as a free agent before Nia Jax comes out with Tamina for her lesson on women's champion, on how to be a women's champion. The crowd just starts booing. As soon as they see Nia Jax, they're booing. I'm going to get real here for a second. Next week, and they brought this up twice, next week, they are going to be in my hometown, H-Town, the Lone Star State. Everything's bigger in Texas, Houston. We have a problem now. I want this woman booed out of the building. I want the deafening roars of displeasure to be so loud that no matter what she's trying to say, no matter how loud she chooses to be or how far down they turn the crowd, that you can still plainly tell, which just like this one, you could tell that they were booing her most of the time, And I want her to, I want WWE Creative to realize that no matter where they go, if they continue with the hashtag facebreaker gimmick for Nia Jax, it is going to be the death of her career. I want them to realize that nobody likes this, that nobody cares about this. Had it been just Nia Jax versus Ronda Rousey before this, before this, it was just going to be Nia Jax versus Ronda Rousey. This is a little friendly rivalry that's getting a little more heated. Good. Fine. I'm on board with that. And then she brings up, and then this whole thing with Becky happened, and they're leaning into it, and they don't realize the nuclear heat that they're getting on her. And everybody, I mean, this is go away heat. This is approaching, I want to say, the darkest days of Roman Reigns kind of heat. That's just what I'm sensing out of this. As I said, the crowd boos the hell out of this segment, especially when she brings up Becky. They're just not having this. And then she replays Money in the Bank when herself and Ronda Rousey faced each other for the first time. And obviously, it's a cherry-picked segment to make Nia Jax look super strong, when in reality, the match was a heavily contested thing. It wasn't close. It wasn't like a one-sided affair at all. It was very close. And I loved that match. That was probably one of my favorite Ronda Rousey matches. It was one of her first, and it was good. It was really good. And with the level of experience, like on-the-job training she's been getting, I think that this one's gonna be even better. That being said, they also play Ronda's match between herself and Charlotte at Survivor Series. She starts talking about how she mocks Ronda's I'm a champion because I can best anybody on my worst day. And how she loves to take stuff. Like, she took Becky Lynch out, and Ronda's gonna take another beating and a loss to me. And God, the look on her face when she said "to me," I just saw the gif on Twitter. Like, OK Fabe retweeted it, and it was just scary cringe. And Ronda Rousey finally comes out to add her 2 cents to this unfucking bearable segment. And I do really like Ronda Rousey. I do like her in-ring promos, because most of the time she's out there and it feels very real, very natural, very honest. And that's great. Let Ronda Rousey be Ronda Rousey. And I will watch that. I will be fine with it. Because I'm coming at it from the mindset that she's not a wrestler. She's a fighter. She is legitimately a dangerous woman, legitimately can hurt, and has the restraint, the wherewithal to know how to damage somebody but not hurt them permanently. because she's done it. Like, she's gotten into fights. She's gotten into real brawls with other women and won. And now she's doing this. And her precision control can help in this sense. But this promo was just probably one of her worst. And I really hated the fact that Nia Jax, because Ronda challenges Nia Jax, says, listen, I can see you two are here, and unless you've got a hot double date with the mute monolith here, let's get to it. Let's have a fight, you know? I wanna have a scrap. Mm-hmm. And Nia Jax, and I mean the crowd at this point, because Ronda's been out there and because Ronda actually acknowledged them and thanked them for cheering her, Ronda's the face in this. And with Nia Jax is like, the crowd's like, yes, yes, yes. And Nia turns it and says, yeah, no, you know what? We do have a hot double date, and we're gonna go. And they're still standing there. Like, if you're gonna play the heel, if you're gonna play that card, there's a couple things you need to do. One, if you're gonna decline to fight, like if you're gonna make it seem like you're gonna fight and then pull it back, you have to walk away. You have to leave the face standing in the ring by themselves with no fight at all. 2, the next part. They said, we're just stalling for time. Then Natalya comes out for no goddamn reason. Natalya comes out, doesn't even make it to the ringside area. All 3 members of the Riot Squad just fucking materialize and beat her up, and then Ronda rolls out of the ring to go comfort Nia, to comfort her friend, while the Riot Squad make their way back up the ramp. And it's like, what are you even fucking doing? Why? Had you said, we're just stalling for time, and then attacked Ronda, like made like you were attacking Ronda, going for the attack. Here comes Natalya to even the odds, and the 2 of them start fighting, and then the Riot Squad come out to beat up Natalya because they got a storyline going, and that's how you do that segment better. The timing is crucial. Even if the faces manage to knock the heels out of the ring, which wouldn't be great, but okay, fine. That still leaves them with the chuckling, like, ha ha ha, we got the cheap shot, we won. You got nothing out of this. Moving on. This part of Raw makes me hate Vince McMahon. Makes me hate being a wrestling fan. This part in specific makes me absolutely disgusted, and I never want to admit that I like wrestling when somebody brings up shit like this. We get a video recap of the whole Drake Maverick messing himself thing, and Drake Maverick in the back with AOP standing behind him actually does one of the best things ever. Like, this was a golden gift from above. He turned this gimmick around and made it kind of good. In that his video promo was basically, oh yeah, everybody wants to make fun of me. Everybody wants to have a laugh at the fact that I lost control of myself. Imagine that you are standing there, you were staring up at a Goliath, a massive beast that grabs you by the throat, holds you 7 feet off the ground. Your whole life flashes before your eyes. You'd lose control of yourself too. That's how you fix that. That's how you fixed it. And then he turns it around even further. Like he pipes it over to Bobby Roode and Chad Gable facing the Authors of Pain for the tag team championships. In that they decided to laugh at Drake Maverick. And I liked Akam and Razor's one-lines at the end. Laugh now, cry later. And Drake Maverick just having that wicked grin, like he's got these two guys in his back pocket. He can deploy them to beat the hell out of people. Good. The match starts. You know, AOP coming down first, then Gable and Roode, who get a little backstage interview with Dasha Fuentes. They say the past... Gable said, the past is the past. This is what we've been working for. This is why we've been teaming together. This is going to be absolutely... And then they walk away and let the theme music hit. Good. The match starts. Drake Maverick somehow goes over to the... Like, he goes from his side, goes over to the Timekeeper's area where Bobby Roode has handed over his... wonderfully glorious robe, and grabs it and puts it on. And he's prancing around the ringside area as he makes his way up the ramp to distract and taunt Bobby Roode. This then lets the match continue. We get a flash as we come back from commercial. Drake Maverick in the bathroom wearing the robe. Ooh, this is really nice, man. Wow. Yeah, this is great. It's really nice. And then they cut back to the ring. Match going on. And it looks like, they're not doing much outside the box here. It's okay. Then the end of the match. Drake Maverick still having the robe says, "Man, Bobby, wow, man, Bobby, this is a really nice robe, man. This is a really, really good robe. It's very comfortable. I see why you wear this. Man, it would suck if something were to happen to it." He looks over, and the camera in the bathroom with him pans over a little bit, and you see a toilet. I hate that the next words... I hate this whole segment because of what happens next. And again, I hate wrestling for this. He takes off the robe, throws it in the toilet, stomps on it a couple times. Okay, that would be enough. In my head, you've incensed Bobby Roode. You've put his prized robe in the toilet, and that could lead to the distraction victory. But they take it the step further. They go a little more Attitude Era. Drake Maverick, positions himself very precisely and pees on the robe in the toilet. The Authors of Pain take advantage of this distraction and pick up the victory via pinfall with what I'm going to now call the final chapter. because they're not doing the original final chapter anymore. You know what? If we get past this, if that's the last of it, I'm okay with it. Let it be over. Let this thing die. Bayley and Sasha Banks are back in the locker room wearing Boss and Hug Connection t-shirts. Why? Why are you doing this to us? Why? I don't know. Alexa Bliss comes in, says, despite all their differences, she's been appointed in charge of the women's division, so she wants the WWE Universe to get to know Sasha Banks and Bayley a little better. So she's going to hold an open forum where they will answer questions from the WWE Universe, and anything goes, no topics off the table. They will be doing that later on in the evening, and they will field questions from the WWE Universe. We come back from commercial. Ember Moon makes her entrance, but then we get a Finn Balor video promo about his match later on in the evening against Baron Corbin. Basically saying that he's going to stand up for what's right. He's not going to bend and kowtow to Baron Corbin. He saw what happened to Elias, and he knows that while Baron Corbin will try and change try and get the upper hand, he will always persevere. Fine. We go back to ringside. Ember Moon has Kurt Hawkins in her corner. I didn't know why until they mentioned that apparently because Braun Strowman is out with the injury, Kurt Hawkins has taken over for the Monster Among Men. And they will face Alicia Fox and Jinder Mahal later in the mixed match challenge I think they're like the quarterfinals, whatever, I don't know. But Alicia Fox faces Ember Moon with Jinder and the Sings at ringside. This was a huge waste of time. And Ember Moon picks up the win with the Eclipse. Kurt Hawkins just fucking goes bananas on, like, right there in the ring, in the aisle, on the ramp, just basically heading to the back. He's elated because I think his current streak is 243 losses. It is what it is. I want to see, I mean, whatever wrestler he faces, it's got to give him a push. So, No Way Jose comes out with a conga line because he's going to face Jinder Mahal. And because Kurt Hawkins was so elated and he was so happy, he joins the conga line, and Ember Moon just, basically playing into it, seeing his silly reaction, and then No Way Jose just being generally charismatic, and knowing No Way Jose from NXT, joins the conga line with, dancing and smiling, and she's being very good about it. And she looks like she's enjoying herself. Fucking Renee then says, Ember despises dancing. You look around you. Observe your surroundings. Know when to say a thing. Know when not to say the thing. Even if it's there, let it go. Jinder Mahal manhandles No way, Jose. He wins. Nobody cared. The crowd didn't cheer. The crowd didn't care. I didn't care. Then what I thought was the main event, just because this was one of the best segments of the night. Seth Rollins issues the open challenge. Dolph Ziggler comes out and he basically says, wow, you're back to being Monday Night Rollins. You're back to being you. I guess I get to go back to being me and being the best in the world. And I get to do what I do best, and that is beating you for the Intercontinental Championship. This match was really good. The false finishes, one of my favorite spots was Rollins set up for the stomp. He did the burn it down stomps, caught Ziggler with a super kick, bounced the ropes to do the stomp, and then Ziggler dodges it. Rollins doesn't even hesitate, turns around and goes for it again, not bothering with a run-up, just turning around and trying to stomp. And Ziggler rolls out of the way, and when Rollins stomped, I guess he thought that Ziggler had rolled out of the ring, because maybe he was thinking about, gauging the jump, like he was going to do the suicide dive. But as soon as he turned around, because Ziggler's behind him, Ziggler hits the zigzag for the near fall. And I thought that was it. Like, it was bang. Nailed it. Like I said, the back half of this match was very good. The finish actually comes in a very unexpected way. Dolph Ziggler is ascending the ropes to put the nail in the coffin. Rollins just up and surprises everybody. Just fucking bam! Explodes off the mat, up the ramp, up the ropes, superplex into the Falcon Arrow. 1, 2, 3. Rollins retains. Next up, we have Alexa Bliss with Bayley and Banks for the open forum. She walks around, picks one person. They say the girl in the front row. God, this whole thing was boring. So boring it almost put me to sleep. The girl asks one question, and the only question that gets asked in this open forum is, if you could change anything about the women's division, what would you change? What would that be? And I think Banks had the answer. If I could change anything, I would ship Alexa Bliss's butt back to SmackDown. Bayley then says, no, I would ship her butt back to hell where she belongs. And Mickie James, Dana Brooke, and I feel like there was one other heel woman involved in this that wasn't Tamina or Nia Jax. They come out for the beatdown. But the faces stand tall in the end. Doesn't matter. Again, this was a useless segment. Finn Balor versus Baron Corbin. This was actually fairly heavily competitive. And with Finn Balor towards the end, really getting in a lot of good offense, it looked like he was gonna win. Baron Corbin rolls out of the ring, declares it a 2-on-1 handicap match with Drew McIntyre added in. Finn gets, a few leaps, but we come back from commercial. They're actually in the middle of the match, and Drew hits the Claymore for the win. Then Bobby Lashley and Leo Rush come out. They all beat on Finn Balor to stand tall at the close of the show. Here's the problem with heel authorities. You have to have, I mean, that's what the Shield was for. The Shield was there to put the heel authority figures in their place, to really stick it to them that it didn't matter, that they were so amazing, that they were going to preserve justice. They didn't care what the authority said. They were going to do their own thing. Now who do you have? You have a second version and possibly a reiteration of the Shield available if they decide to go that route. I'd love to see it. And that iteration being the Architect, Seth Rollins, Elias, and Finn Balor. Why? Seth Rollins knows how to do this. Seth Rollins lends the air of the Shield to this trio. Finn Balor has nothing. No title prospects, no momentum. He's just a babyface on the roster that does really good work when you let him. Elias has beef with the authority, which gives them that wedge in. Like, I have problems with Corbin. You have problems with Corbin. You're really good at solving authority problems. And you've got problems with Corbin, I imagine. Let's throw together a second Shield to go out there and stop this madness. I don't know. I'd love to see the Demon King come in and kick McIntyre's ass. It'd be great. But you know what else is great? SmackDown. Apparently Becky Lynch is going to be on air. So we'll see what that's all about. Again, I want to thank you all for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe, share all those wonderful things down below. Hit the bell for the notifications. If you want to see where I got this epic shirt, check out my buddies Rogues Apparel. I really love this shirt. I like to shout them out. They do good work. Gave me the shirt for free. Also, go on ahead and check out the show's Twitter at InMoshPit. Go ahead and check out my Twitter at Rob's Random ROMs. Check out my friend's Twitter, Heavy Metal Hippie. Send her some love. We will see you all tomorrow night for the SmackDown Live review. Later.